At the time of this video, I am doing a lot of thinking, a lot of processing in my mind. Things in the nature of the inevitability of the human condition. Yes, it's a little bit deep. There is a point to this that I will integrate with photography. But like I said, at the time of this making, my father has become sick and taken to the hospital the other day, or yesterday. And most likely he had a stroke. Earlier this year, my mother had died, and it's inevitable. It's inevitable, and for some people that is difficult to deal with, to accept, and for others it's just part of life. It's the process, the cyclical process of the human condition. But a lot of people talk about the philosophical side as well. What is the meaning of life? Where do you go when you die? Is there life after death? All of those deep questions come into the consciousness of mankind, and those are age-old questions as well. These aren't questions that I just came up with. These are always talked about, and so the complexity of life depends on the circumstances, the culture you were born into, and how you were raised, who you were raised by, and that helps to establish and develop your worldview. And you know, for me, I grew up in a small little town, Hillsdale, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and a lot of people think that, oh, you're from Jersey, you know, you grew up in the armpit of America, and you're a rough guy, you're a tough guy, and all the, I don't know, things or names that are correlated with Northerners. And I guess I'm trying to be polite. And it's not necessarily true. Based upon where you grew up and how you were taught things and your school system, like I said, it contributes to your worldview. What's this have to do with photography? Photography, I'm learning, it's similar. There's a lot of complexity in photography from the aspect of light, darkness. There's a contrast there, composition, the rule of thirds, using a camera, these new fancy DSLR cameras that have been coming out in the past few years, versus the old film cameras, the 35mm film. A lot of things are going on when you're doing photography. How do you know it's a good picture? You may take a picture and you think it's the greatest picture you've ever taken in your whole life. And for others, they may just think that's the worst picture they've ever seen. So what makes a good picture? Why would anybody want to even purchase your picture, or let alone hang it, even if you give it to them as a gift? You know, so there's a lot of these different variables that take into play in photography. A lot of ebb and flow. There are certain rules to play by in photography, but you know, they're not really hard and fast rules. It depends on the style of photography. If you're a landscape photography, if you're a fine art photography, photographers, if you are into portraits, if you do pets, and the list goes on and on and on. So who's right, who's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's beautiful, what's ugly. And again, in life, it happens. There's a lot of things that go on. There's a beginning, there's an end. What happens in between the stop and the end of life, a lot of variables, a lot of complexities, a lot of opinions, as you know. And so, you know, for me, a lot of things going through my mind, and but it's good to process. It happens to everyone, and some people take infirmities better than others. Some take it as a terrible thing, and for some people that I know, elderly people who come to the end of their life, and I know some who have said, yes, I'm ready to die. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it does occur. And so in photography, it's the same thing. I think anyway, when you have a beautiful picture that, let's say I take a picture of landscape, and I think the mountains are great, the sun, the way it's fractioning onto the trees or the ocean, etc., etc., etc. I may think it's gorgeous. Another person may say, no, I don't like it, it doesn't do anything for me. It needs to die, it needs to go away, you need to shred it up, you need to get out there, get a better composition, wait for the sun to rise or to set, or wait till a certain time of the year, that way you can get some autumnal colors, etc., etc., etc. Well, that doesn't mean that it's bad, my idea or my picture. It just means that's what spoke to me, that's what I like about it, and if someone else likes it and enjoys, hey, that's great. If the other person doesn't, I don't care. I'm not trying to please anybody per se. I'm just trying to enjoy photography, and just like people try to enjoy life as best as they can. And but little side note, no, I'm not going on a rant. Nobody has said anything terrible about my pictures or about me as a person or anything like that. But I'm just trying to make the point that in life there are hardships, and there are times and seasons of life where there's good things that happen. In photography, you go out and you spend hours and hours and hours looking for the right composition, and you come up with nothing. Or I've heard stories where you go out, other photographers have gone out hiking, spent hours finding the one composition that they like, and it turned out their battery is dead. No composition was taken, no picture, no nothing. They walk away with some good exercise, but their goal was to take a picture of a sunrise. So it happens. Life happens. Good things, bad things. There's an ebb and flow. Constant things move around. It's relative. What you do with it and how you handle those circumstances depends on you as a person. You're going to confront it, or you're going to run away from it. You're going to accept death, or you're going to deny it. I can go on and on and on. So anyway, I hope this was sort of, it's a little bit different video than I think the ones that I've posted so far. But I'm just spewing out some things that are on my mind that are, weighing on my shoulders a little bit, and where I am in my life as well. That's a whole different thing there. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.